Liz Truss quits after just 44 days. A head of lettuce has officially outlasted Liz Truss's stint as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Mrs. Truss dramatically admitted defeat and announced she is quitting as Prime Minister today, with Westminster gearing up for Boris Johnson and Rishi Sunak to do battle for the soul of the party. After just 44 disastrous days at 10 Downing Street, Mrs. Truss took to a lectern outside the famous Black Door to confirm her departure, sealing her fate as the shortest-serving premier in modern political history. Revealing she had informed the king of her decision, she said, quote, "I cannot deliver on the mandate. I will remain as PM until a successor has been chosen." Mrs. Truss, who insisted she was a fighter and not a quitter barely 24 hours ago, said the Tory leadership contest will be completed over the next week. Moscow fighter jet fires missile near British plane. A Russian fighter jet fired a missile near an RAF nuke sniffer spy plane over the Black Sea in a dangerous clash. Defense Secretary Ben Wallace said the unarmed RAF Rivet Joint was on routine patrol in international airspace last month when it was tailed by two Russian Su-27 fighter jets. Norway on edge over drone sightings, arrest of son of Putin confidant. Norwegian officials warned Thursday that there could be more arrests after at least 7 Russians, including the son of a close associate of President Vladimir Putin, were detained in recent weeks for flying drones or taking pictures near sensitive areas, prompting an investigation by the Domestic Intelligence Service. Democrats flocked to New Hampshire in 2024 shadow primary. Potential Democratic presidential hopefuls are traveling to the state of New Hampshire with striking frequency, campaigning for midterm candidates while introducing themselves to voters in the first-in-the-nation primary state. The United States claims that Iranian troops are directly engaged on the ground inside of Ukraine. The White House said on Tuesday that the United States has evidence that Iranian troops are, quote, directly engaged on the ground in Crimea, supporting Russian drone attacks on Ukraine's infrastructure and civilian population. A snake on a plane causes panic at Newark. Frightened passengers spotted a snake on a plane at Newark Liberty International Airport. It happened on Monday afternoon. United Airlines Flight 2038 landed around 1:15 p.m. local time and was taxiing to the gate when the Gardner snake was spotted. Ukraine's utilities threatened by Russia in war's new phase. Moscow has openly declared its intention to increasingly strike power stations, waterworks, and other key infrastructure. One Ukrainian energy official said Wednesday that 40% of the country's electric power system had been severely damaged, and President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Russian forces have destroyed 30% of Ukraine's power stations since October the 10th. The Department of Justice says it needs more money for the January 6 probe. The Biden administration says it is in critical need of more money to bring the January 6 rioters to justice, but it's not clear Congress will grant that request in a major funding bill that is planned for December, and if it fails to do so before the new year, a potential Republican-led House could imperil the resources the Democrats are needing. Oklahoma executes Benjamin Cole for the murder of his 9-month-old daughter. His attorneys said he had schizophrenia and was mentally ill. Oklahoma has executed by lethal injection Benjamin Cole, who was sentenced to death back in 2002 for the murder of his 9-month-old daughter, Brianna Victoria Cole, over the objections of his defense attorneys, who argued the 57-year-old suffered from schizophrenia and was severely mentally ill. The United States makes unusual disclosure of ballistic missile submarines' presence in the Persian Gulf. The United States military made an unusual disclosure on Wednesday, revealing the presence of one of its submerged nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines in the Persian Gulf in a move likely to make waves across the region. Arizona fires back at Biden administration, demanding it remove shipping containers filling the gaps at the U.S.-Mexico border. The administration of Arizona Governor Doug Ducey is pushing back against the demand by the Biden administration that it take down a number of shipping containers it has used to plug a gap in the incomplete border wall, saying that border states, quote, cannot rely on the federal government to ensure its security. Indonesia bans the sale of all cough syrups after 99 child deaths. Indonesia has halted the sale of all cough syrup and liquid medicines following the deaths of nearly 100 children and an unexplained spike in cases of acute kidney injuries. The ban announced by the country's health ministry on Wednesday will remain until authorities complete an investigation into unregistered medical syrups suspected of containing toxic ingredients. At least 30 killed amid demonstrations in Chad's capital. Chilean security forces have opened fire on anti-government demonstrators, killing at least 30 people protesting in the Central African nation's capital against interim leader Mohamed Idris Déby's 2-year extension of power. India's opposition Congress Party elects new president. India's main opposition Congress Party elected Mallikarjun Kharge as its new president on Wednesday in a contest in which the Nehru Gandhi family, which has led the party for more than 2 decades, did not compete. Netherlands follows Spain in quitting Energy Charter Treaty. The Netherlands will pull out of the Energy Charter Treaty, which has come under fire for protecting investments in the oil and gas sector, the country's energy ministry said on Wednesday. James Webb Telescope captures iconic Pillars of Creation photo. The world's largest and most powerful space telescope has captured the iconic Pillars of Creation, huge structures of gas and dust teeming with stars, according to NASA. The James Webb Space Telescope has taken its first shot of the gigantic gold, copper, and brown columns standing within the vast Eagle Nebula, 6,500 light-years away from Earth, the United States Space Agency said in a statement on Wednesday. New York City vows to fight sewer rats on their home turf, curbside garbage piles. New York City, the city that never sleeps, is trying to shut down its most popular all-night buffet, and officials are sure some famous locals won't be happy about it. Starting on April the 1st of 2023, this is not an April Fool's joke, New Yorkers will be fined for putting their trash on the curb before 8 p.m. in the latest attempt to cull the city's rampant rat population. The current rule allows residents to begin setting out trash at 4 p.m. New York's sanitation department has reported more than 21,600 rat complaints so far this year. That's roughly a 71% increase since October of 2020. 5 charged after viral video shows daycare worker scaring little kids with a creepy Halloween mask. A viral video showing a former Mississippi daycare worker scaring the bejesus out of kids in her care while wearing a creepy Halloween mask has prompted child abuse charges against 5 daycare workers. This is according to NBC affiliate WTVA out of Tupelo, Mississippi. Drive-by shooting near Portland High School injures 2 students. 2 students were injured in a shooting Tuesday afternoon near a high school in Portland, Oregon, officials said. Shots were fired near Jefferson High School in North Portland around 4 p.m. after the school had been dismissed. Portland Public Schools officials reported that 2 students are expected to survive.